I have been working a night shift at McDonald's for about a year. I am a 21-year-old female and worked as a grill cook in the kitchen. I was never good at talking to people, so working at the front counter was never a thing for me. The only time I went out was when we had to restock supplies or at my break time. It was around 1 a.m. and we were having vegetables delivered to the restaurant as it was a busy day and we had none left inside. I was the only one working that time in the kitchen, so I had to restock everything myself. It was raining outside, so you could not see very clearly. I opened the back door and started to bring the boxes inside. As I was busy picking up the boxes, I noticed a man standing against the light pole. I could not see his face clearly because of the rain, but he was just standing there looking at me. I just ignored it and kept doing my work, as I was almost finished bringing all the boxes inside and went out to bring in the last two. I noticed that there was a man standing right outside the back door. I asked him if he needed any help. He had a small wooden box in his hand that had a rope tied around it. He told me that he is my brother's friend and my brother sent this gift for me. I was a little suspicious that why would my brother send a gift to where I work, and he could have just given it to me when I got home. I told him I am going to call my brother to ask him. He then took out a knife from his back pocket and pointed it at me. "Take it or die," he said. I got really scared and took the box from him. He then slowly backed away, pointing the knife towards me, and then ran down the street. I went inside the restaurant, locked the door, and ran to the counter to tell my coworker. I showed him the box that the man gave me. We went in the kitchen and opened it. Till this day I cannot get that picture out of my head of what I saw in that box. It was a finger of a real person covered in blood. I screamed and dropped the box on the floor. My coworker called the cops and we waited for them outside. After they arrived, I showed them the box and the finger inside it. I told them I had no idea who that person was and why he gave me a box with a person's finger in it. Days passed, but police never found out who that person was or why did he give me that box. After that night, I transferred to another branch to work in a day shift. I am never working an overnight shift again.
I've worked an overnight shift at a McDonald's near the highway. I am an 18-year-old male who just got his first job after high school. One night I was driving towards the restaurant as usual, when I saw a black van behind my car. It stood out to me as it was in a really bad condition. Its headlights were broken and the front window was almost shattered. The van was driving really close to my car, like it wanted to overtake me. I hit the gas and drove to the restaurant as fast as I could. When I got there, I noticed that the van was not following me anymore. I grabbed my stuff and went into the restaurant to get to work. I did not tell any of my coworkers because I was not sure whether he was following me. About an hour later, a man walked into the restaurant. He was about 6 foot tall and dressed in all black. I asked him what would he like to order. "A cheeseburger, please," he said. I showed him a place to sit and told him to wait for his order. "Well, I have a box I would like to bring from my van. Can you help me? It's really heavy." Me, being a nice person, agreed to help him. We walked outside the restaurant to his van. He told me he parked just around the corner. As we turned around the corner, he grabbed me and tried to throw me inside the van. It was the same black van that was following me. Just in time, my manager was driving to the restaurant. He saw us. He got out of his car and pushed the man away. My manager carried a gun for safety. He pointed the gun at the man and made him sit in his car until the cops arrived. 5 minutes later, the cops arrived and took him in custody. The officer told us that he was really drunk and he had a knife in his pocket which he wanted to kill me with. And that is the reason I will never work an overnight shift again.
I worked an overnight shift at a McDonald's as a cleaner. My job was to clean the whole restaurant in the night so it can open in the morning. I usually arrived on time. But this day I got late because my car broke down and it took about 30 minutes to fix it. It was a really cold night and there was almost complete silence around the restaurant. I drove as fast as I could and reached the restaurant. I had the keys to the back door so I could get inside. As I was about to open the door, I realized that the front side window of the restaurant is broken. I went inside to get a good look and see the damage. It looked like someone tried to break in. I quickly went to the counter to see if any money was stolen. As I reached the counter, I felt something at the back of my head. As I turned around, I saw a guy pointing a gun to my head. I tried to scream, but he kept his hand on my mouth. He told me to give all money at the counter. I told him I cannot open the drawer as I do not have the key. After hearing this, he got so angry that he shot at the ceiling. At this point, I was so terrified that I passed out. The next thing I remember is the cops waking me up. They asked me about what happened. I told them about the man and that he wanted to steal the money at the counter. They tried looking for him, but they could not find him. That is my story and the reason I will not work night shifts again.